Hello world. Make sure we're live. We are not. Make sure we're live. We're live. Yes, we are live. Gosh. Welcome to the crap show. I swear one day I will get used to this. I swear. It's a work in progress. Bear with me. So today, this morning, December the 19th, we have the big release, the big Superman trailer. The teaser trailer to the movie. That's right. It should be released here in just a few minutes. I gotta make sure I can find it. Because, I just saw somewhere as I was fixing my webcam issues, that's why I'm a little late, over on X, that it's out. So let's see if it's out. Doesn't look like it's out yet. So we just need to keep watching the DCX feed. In fact, I'm going to do a little post. Just let people know that I am live on YouTube as we speak. Because, There we go. Let it out there that I'm live and in color. Yes, I'm not a bot. Some people over on X think I'm a bot. They follow me, they send me a message. I usually, if it's a DM on X that I really want to see, or I think I need to respond to, I'll respond to it, but I generally don't respond to probably 90% of the DMs I get on X. So then I got these people ask, are you a bot? You're a bot. Like, no, I'm not a bot. I'm a real human being. At least last time I checked, I was a real human being. So, but yeah, we got 7 minutes till the trailer hits. And just to give a little recap, I mean, it was announced, what was it, 2 years ago? Or whenever James Gunn was announced as the person taking over what at the time was the DCEU, him and Peter Safran. And they did a house cleaning, basically. No more Henry Cavill, which was a disappointment in my book. Henry should have been continuing as Superman. I think he was probably him and Ben Affleck were probably in, well, I'll just say this. Henry, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, they were perfect for those superheroes, those characters. And I wish James Gunn would have made the decision to keep Henry Cavill on. I wish they would have kept Ben Affleck on as Batman. I thought my view, Ben Affleck, he was a good Batman. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, she should have stayed on, should have kept her. That he could have built off of what Zack Snyder started. And I'm not saying continue the Snyderverse, but keep those individuals in those roles for continuity's sake. I mean, David Cornsweet, nothing against him, but Henry Cavill, in my opinion, is Superman. He's the second best Superman. I mean, Christopher Reeve, the OG, is Superman. I mean, as far as Batman goes, I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was perfect for being a more, I hate to say it, grounded Batman / Bruce Wayne. But to me, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and I'm talking movies, and I'm not talking Batman 66 with Adam West. Robert Pattinson really didn't do it for me as Batman. Even though the Batman was good, the first, I'd say 2/3 of it, it was good. The way it ended was not the greatest. We got 4 minutes till the trailer drops. But just want to backtrack a little bit. So, James Gunn takes over, announces Superman Legacy is going to be the first movie of the new DC universe. And, the whole thing of it is that, okay, James, you've done your bit with Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, which turned out to be a success, even though the third movie didn't do as well as the second. He was involved with the second Suicide Squad movie, which, by the way, I hope they do release the air cut of the first Suicide Squad. The first Suicide Squad was, I'd say, maybe a 5 out of 10 in my opinion. Some people really just didn't like it. I thought it was okay. The second one I thought was good. James Gunn was also involved with Peacemaker. So he's got a track record of being, pretty successful when it comes to the superhero genre. But announcing Superman to be the first movie out of the gate for the new DC universe, great. But where we're at right now is that there's a lot of pressure on James Gunn for this movie to be groundbreaking, earth-shattering, for this movie to be a success, to have positive word of mouth. Because in my opinion, and it's not just my opinion, I follow some others over on this platform, they have a very similar or same opinion that if this movie does not do well, could this be up for the superhero genre? I mean, yeah, you have to have something else take its place. I mean, go back. I mean, throughout the history of film, even before I was born, you had, we'll just go back to the 60s. The 60s were big with Westerns. And then Westerns kind of became passe. And then you had, in the 70s, you had a lot of comedies. You had a few action movies in there, but it was a lot of comedies, especially in the late 70s going into the 80s. The 80s became the decade of the action movies. And then you have, in the 90s, kind of a swing back toward comedies again, in my opinion. And then in the 2000s, you have the superhero movies. You had the Fox, the Marvel Fox property, the X-Men. Deadpool started out with Fox. Sony, you had Spider-Man. Then you had the movie that kind of really allowed superhero movies to take off, and that was Iron Man in 2008. So even though there really isn't something to replace the superhero genre right now, I still think this movie here, Superman, is going to be a make or break for the genre. It's got to be a success. It's got to, it just, if it isn't successful, then I don't know. Keeping an eye out on the DC's X feed, because I think this is where Superman will show up. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So right at 9 o'clock. So it actually appeared a little late. So here it is. We're gonna get our first look at the teaser for James Gunn's Superman, coming out next July.
Crypto.
We got crypto.
Home.
All right.
Take me home.
Superman.
So there it is. Let's break it down a little bit here. Let's back up. So we start with Superman getting, looks like pretty beat up. Not sure where they're going with this. Not sure where they're going with this at all. But yeah. He's beat up. Looks like it's a little bit of a flashback prior to whatever fight he's in, getting beat up. There's Lois and Clark both at the planet. There's Clark with his, I'm presuming that's Jonathan Kent, I'm presuming. And then we have an appearance by Crypto. We have not seen Crypto, to my knowledge, in any Superman movie. Let's fast forward here. Let's get back. There he is, Crypto. We got Crypto the Super Dog. The only time I can recall seeing Crypto is in, what was it, the Superman animated series from the, I want to say from the 60s. And no, I'm not discounting the animated movie that came out with The Rock in it being the voiceover for Crypto. I'm not discounting that. But this is the first time I can recall seeing Crypto in a live action Superman movie. So that's cool. I like that. This is where he says, Crypto, take me home. And then we see some scenes here where we got Superman doing what he does. That's protecting the innocent. And we got our first shot of Lex at Luthor Corps. So we know Luthor's in it. Luthor's got to be in it. When you do a Superman movie, especially a reboot, you got to have Lex in it. Now, I don't know what Lex is doing here with the gun. And I'm not sure what's going on here with Superman being... Is that in a glass box? Doesn't look like any type of skyscraper or anything. It looks like he's being held captive. Can't really tell. Now this here is interesting. There's the Kingdom Come logo. I can't tell if this is before the fight that he, where he's at the beginning of the trailer where he's all beat up. Because people are not happy with Superman. It looks like he's walking into the Daily Planet. Stag Industries. Somebody's gonna have to help brush me up on my comics history with Superman, because I really dropped out of the comics after the whole Doomsday thing, and then Superman returning in the black suit. I know Star Labs, but I don't know Stag Industries. So here we have, there's our first look at Guy Gardner, part of the Green Lantern Corps, and then we got Hawkgirl. So we have a couple little cameos there. Hawkgirl's not sure what that is. God, it's been a while since I've been in on the comics. So, Superman and Lois. Not sure what that is in the background. This image actually was released a few months back, and people weren't too certain what was in the background there. Still not certain. That looks like he's at the Fortress of Solitude, and that looks like, if I remember correctly, who was the AI behind the bots at the Fortress of Solitude? Was it Brainiac? Or was it something else? Still more at the Fortress of Solitude. Not sure who that is. Then we have another shot of Luthor. Crypto is taking him home. All right, we have a little fight here. Not sure. Not sure who this is here. Back it up. Not sure who he's fighting. Now we have Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific makes an appearance. Rumors. And that's it. That's all we get. The teaser from the teaser. The teaser trailer before the trailer, before the movie. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple other trailers. So that's it. That's what we got. See if they put it out there on DC Official yet. Wonder if they have. Yep, they did. They put it out on DC Official. Let's look at some of the comments. Oh, my boy Crypto. There we go. Nice 70s Superman vibe, but the trailer doesn't do it for me. It doesn't instill the feeling of hope that was needed. Poor trailer. It's a teaser. What do you expect? It's a teaser trailer. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was, my opinion, this is going to build the anticipation for this movie when it comes out next July. It did what it's supposed to do. It teased us. You got the cameos, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner. You got, of course, Lex Luthor. You got freaking Crypto. This did what it's supposed to do, in my opinion. The whole trailer was hope. Did you not hear the chant? Superman is back. Okay, I'm seated. Y'all haters, where y'all at? We need Fortnite to bring us a new Superman skin to celebrate. I'm ready to look up. Bright, colorful, humility, Crypto. I think James Gunn might have pulled it off. Overhyped, but I like this part. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of CGI. That goes without saying. There is going to be a lot of CGI. But that can't be helped. That cannot be helped. This day and age, there's going to be CGI. Just hopefully, I mean, to me, it looked decent. So, fingers crossed. The only thing that makes me want to watch this movie is Crypto the dog. Oh. So, comic book accuracy, I'm hyped now. So yeah, there's some good positive buzz around it. Of course, you're gonna have some not so good buzz around it. That's fine. Teach their own. Personally, me, I like this trailer. Dear James Gunn, the Superman trailer is absolutely stunning. You've captured the heart, hope, and heroism that makes the Man of Steel so beloved. It's clear how much love and care you've poured into this film, and it shines in every moment. Thank you for giving us Superman to believe in again. We can't wait to see your masterpiece. RIP to our brothers who didn't live to see this masterpiece. Superman, look up. Batman, look down. I mean, again, to me, this should have been Henry Cavill. I'm just going to say it. Should have been Henry Cavill. I like what they did here with the with the costume, going back to the red trunks. The Kingdom Come logo. The cape is very similar to the Christopher Reeve cape and cowl. I know James Gunn was kind of doing, what's old is new again with a more comic accurate suit. I mean, yeah, the Henry Cavill suit, it didn't have red trunks. But that was the vibes Zack Snyder was going for. Kindness in a world where kindness is considered old-fashioned. Love it. An entire generation is about to remember what hope is. If the word super is to be applied to anyone, it should be applied to all of you, to all mankind. Superman, Earth 1, Volume 1. Yep. Symbol of hope. I mean, the buzz is positive so far. The ratio, so far, the ratio is not bad. So far, it's not bad. The ratio is 120,000 likes to 521 dislikes. So just like with the Karate Kid Legacy, it's nice to see the ratio going in the right direction. Amazing. I think the word of mouth on this is going to be pretty good. So you've had, and I think, in my opinion, not that I'm an expert, but I think they approached this the right way with the teases, with the tease from the other day with the look up and the Hans Zimmer, the spin on the classic Superman theme. I mean, there are just certain themes it's Superman. James Bond. You know it's James Bond when you hear the dun 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 dun. You know it's James Bond. So yeah. And then you had the teaser that came out yesterday with the same music and everything. I love the whole thing about look up. In this teaser here, look up. I mean, the way they piece this out. And built to this moment here, where you have the teaser trailer. And yes, I will be going to see this in IMAX. This is one of those movies that is a must-see in a large format theater. If you have access to a 70mm IMAX theater, I would strongly encourage and recommend you to go see it in the 70mm. If you only have access to a LIMAX that's close by to you, then go to the LIMAX, the smaller IMAX. Fortunately, where I live, I don't think I have a 70mm close to me, but I do have a couple of, they are the IMAX laser theaters close by. So there you go. I hopped on here early just to cover this. And I don't know why my webcam is not showing up. I just realized that my webcam is not showing up. I have no idea where it's at. It's on. I'm here. See, I'm here. But for some reason, I'm not showing up. Interesting. Let's go back. Let's go back here, shall we? Let's do a little IT live. You've come to IT live. Let's properties. Remove. Yes. Add. Video capture device. Elgato Facecam Pro. Hey, there it is. You are looking live as I do IT. Look at that. I'm doing some IT work live on stream. Technology. Isn't technology grand? All right, we're back. How about that? We're back. I got my webcam back. Yay. So there you have it. Superman. I'm excited. And like I said and stated earlier, I think this is going to be the watershed moment for the superhero genre. I think this is going to be the make or break. And yes, this does affect Marvel too. I mean, yeah, they have their, Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday that are slated to come out in, I think it's 2026, 2027. Yes, this affects those. Because, I mean, it's Superman. You're one of your biggest draws in the superhero genre. You've got Spider-Man, you got Superman, and you got Batman. And yeah, I mean, those are the big three. And if any of those big three don't draw, now, I will say this, the reported budget for Superman is like 330 million. We'll throw another 100 million on top of that for marketing and advertising. This movie's going to have to do $1 billion. And it's not just going to be, it did $1 billion. It's got to be it's got to be a sea change $1 billion. It's got to be, dare I say it, a Barbie-esque $1 billion. It's got to have buzz. If it don't have any buzz, it could do $1 billion and still be considered mid, a 5 out of 10. So yeah, it's gotta be generational, for lack of a better term. It's gotta be generational. So that's Superman. Now, one thing I didn't touch on, and this was James Gunn, he put out this little clip, this little 30-second clip. I'm going to play it yesterday. This was before the trailer.
Hey everybody, James Gunn here, and as you may have heard, I've been working on a Superman film. This project is so much more than just another movie to me. It's a story about humanity, about what it means to be a hero in a world that doesn't always make it easy to be one. I can't wait for you to see it. The heart, the action, and the incredible performances from David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, and the entire cast. So set your reminders, tell your friends. You can see the Superman teaser trailer tomorrow.
Now, one thing that I did come across, and that was the fact that James Gunn did say that he was taking some cues from Top Gun Maverick, which to me, that's a positive. That is a positive that he was taking cues from Top Gun Maverick. Had to clear my throat a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I am genuinely excited for this. Granted, I haven't followed the Superman comics for quite a while, but when you have these types of films come out, how could you not be excited? And I am so hoping he hits a home run with this. So hoping. So what else do we have? I was more prepared for this live stream until I had to reboot my entire system. There's a little tidbit here. This was posted yesterday over on comingsoon.net. Why James Gunn dropped Legacy out of the Superman Legacy title. He originally announced the film, which stars David Corenswet, the titular role in 2023. At the time, the project was labeled Superman Legacy, before Gunn ultimately decided to shorten the title. In a recent discussion, the acclaimed filmmaker has revealed why such decision was taken in the first place. While talking to Comic Book, Gunn clarified the process that prompted him to ditch the word legacy. He outlined that his team conducted a post-mortem session before shooting the film, where the crew members assumed that the movie had flopped upon release. Then they got down to discuss the things they might be doing that could compromise the film's quality. Gunn stated how everyone got a chance to speak their minds about what might go wrong with the movie. One specific element about the Superman film was that it was highlighted in this process was the legacy part of the title. One of the things was I thought maybe the title had a looking back feeling to it. Gunn explained, this isn't about looking back, this is about looking forward. When you see the movie, you'll understand where legacy comes from, because it is, again, it's about Clark and his relationship to the script. And whose legacy is he really? And so it's about that. But I think as a title, it felt too looking back. Having dropped the legacy bit, the movie is simply now titled Superman, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, legacy, yeah, you could say, having the title Superman Legacy, that he is looking back to previous Superman movies, going all the way back to Christopher Reeve. I mean, heck, you can even include the Brandon Routh Superman Returns in that. And I think it was a good move to drop Legacy from the title and just title it Superman. I mean, think about it. 1978, we got Superman. Then we had Superman 2. Then we had Superman 3, Quest for Peace. Or no, yeah. Or what was Superman 3? Superman 4 was Quest for Peace. I forget what Superman 3 was. I think there was a subtitle to it. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Which wouldn't be the first time I was wrong, by the way. It won't be the last. So Then, of course, you had Man of Steel. Or no, you had Superman Returns, which they tried to set that up as a sequel to the original Christopher Reeve movies, which I don't either here nor there. I mean, it was decent in my opinion. The Brandon Routh Superman Returns, it was decent. But the way they set it up, how does Superman disappeared for so many years and now he's back and trying to tie it to the original Christopher Reeve movies, that whole thing was just Then of course you have Man of Steel, then Batman versus Superman. I mean, yeah, this needed to be its own standalone, not tied to anything done previously. Here it is, Superman. And if he would have kept Legacy in the title, then yeah, people would have been looking back to what has been done previously and trying to tie this movie to those. And that wouldn't work, in my humble opinion. So, what else we got this morning? God, I was so prepared, and then technical difficulties, and now I'm ill prepared. And you guys get to see the crap show that this is. Switching gears. Who out there remembers The Acolyte? Anyone? Bueller? Well, seems that somebody over at the Lucasfilm and Marvel doesn't want to let The Acolyte just go away and fade out of existence. We got this from That Park Place. The Acolyte returns in Marvel Star Wars comics. Fans of the show claim it's not enough. So the lesbian space witches are back in a comic book. Yay. Hallelujah. Thank God. Yeah. They're back. They just can't help themselves, can they? So, Marvel has unveiled plans to feature characters from The Acolyte in the upcoming Star Wars comics for Black History Month, which is February. However, fans of the canceled Disney Plus show have claimed it's not enough. We need more Acolyte. You know, the vocal minority. And another example of why you can't placate the mob, Marvel learned an interesting lesson this week when it announced plans to dedicate 4 Star Wars comic book covers in February to Black characters in celebration of Black History Month. However, fans of The Acolyte, a group not known for its laid-back attitude and willingness to express gratitude, fired back at the Disney-owned publisher for not doing more outside of the comics. When are people and corporations and businesses going to learn? When you think you're doing something to placate certain fan bases or certain minorities, and I don't mean skin color, I'm talking the minority of people out there that like The Acolyte, you do something to give them a little bit and it's never going to be enough. It's just like you never apologize to the woke mob, because if you do, it's not going to be good enough. An upcoming issue of the Star Wars comic book Legacy of Vader will feature the Acolyte's mother, Anastasia, the leader of the Coven of Witches, at the center of Disney's widely panned Star Wars show. February's issue of Star Wars The High Republic, Fear of the Jedi, features both May and Osha, the twins played by Amanda Stenberg. Note that the Acolyte characters appear only on the variant covers for these comics. They won't feature in the book's stories. So then why put them on the covers? If they're not going to be in... Okay. Marvel, you should know this. Your cover should tie into the story. Just like on YouTube, the thumbnail and the title should draw people into your video, and you talk about the things that are in your thumbnail and your title. You don't put somebody on the cover of a comic book to placate a certain segment of the fandom and then not have them be part of the story. You don't do that. I mean, back in the day, that was called bait and switch, if I remember correctly. Marvel will also feature Lando Calrissian from the Star Wars original trilogy, and Vale, who was apparently a character from Star Wars Outlaws, the failed video game from Ubisoft. Mace Windu from the prequel trilogy and Finn from the sequel trilogy are not featured whatsoever. Despite fan sentiment toward the sequel trilogy, many fans see Finn in a favorable light and believe the character received a raw deal in the tug-of-war battle between directors J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. Mace Windu is, of course, a hugely popular character with legions of fans, and yet these two were overlooked in favor of characters from perhaps the two most widely panned Star Wars projects ever made, The Acolyte and Outlaws. Well, yeah, because, and I may get flamed for this, but I don't really care, because we got to put the women on the cover. Even though they're not popular, we got to put them on the cover. Sorry. It's the truth. That's what the thought process is at Marvel, at Lucasfilm, at Disney. One might assume that fans of The Acolyte, who apparently do exist, if online tantrums following the show's cancellation are to be believed, would be happy about this. However, outlets like Feminagra seem to think it's not enough. Yeah, go figure. It's never enough. While the comics expand Star Wars narratives, fans and cast members have made it clear that they want more. The outlet said in its official write-up. Marvel's celebration of Black History Month is a step forward, but Lucasfilm and Disney Plus must rethink their approach. Transitioning The Acolyte into additional seasons or new media formats would better meet the demand for diverse stories. Comics alone cannot satisfy the desire for representation and compelling storytelling in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, The Acolyte was not compelling storytelling. I took the time to watch it. It was bad. That's why it got canceled. The viewership wasn't there and the show was expensive to produce. Why people can't seem to get that through their heads, that the writing was bad, the acting was bad, and it was expensive to produce. That's why it was canceled. Real simple. The Acolyte was canceled because the show had a bloated reported budget of $230 million. See, I didn't even get to that part yet. I already called it. As uncovered by that part place in UK tax filings, the high cost didn't meet demand. Oh, wow. Look at that. Lack of viewership. With the show pulling abysmal ratings and falling off the Nielsen chart for the top 10 original streaming series in its 5th week. However, apparently because of the demand for diverse stories, Disney should, according to Feminagra, shell out even more shareholder money to produce a show with virtually no audience. Even Disney doesn't have unlimited resources. Even Disney doesn't have unlimited funds to shell out for projects, especially expensive ones like The Acolyte. They need to get an ROI. They need to keep the shareholders happy. It'd be different if Disney was a private company and didn't rely on shareholder capital. How do you feel about The Acolyte returning through Marvel Comics? Well, it's not really returning. They're just having them on the cover of these comics. There's no new stories. Did you watch the show when it aired? Yeah, I did. Sound off in the comments and let us know. You guys can let me know. Oh, gosh. Is it Friday yet? No, it's only Thursday. Thank God it's Thursday. Oh man. What fun, what fun, what fun. What else we got? What else do we have here? Um let's see. What else can I find to talk about? Yesterday was mostly politics. I'm going to try to stay away from the politics today. I want to keep it lively. I want to keep it, upbeat. I mean, hell, it Superman trailer was released today for goodness sakes. It's a good day for a good day. I mean, yeah, I could talk about what happened yesterday with the whole mess with the continuing resolution that turned into an omnibus spending bill that Elon Musk successfully, through X and his association with the Trump team and MAGA, was able to kill the bill, so to speak. It was talked about last night ad nauseum on Timcast. And it's still being talked about today because now Speaker Johnson's saying he's gonna put together a clean bill. Yeah, clean bill. There should be no new bills, no new resolutions until the new Congress comes into, or until the new Congress is convened in January and President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in on January 20th. The government can be shut down for 30 days. It ain't gonna hurt us at all. Government has shut down before. And some people out there, well, what about the hurricane victims? Their relief will get caught up. They didn't get any relief to begin with. That money went to illegals. That's where you really can't rely on the government. We need to rely on each other as citizens. Get back to being a community where we support each other. We help each other out. We have gotten so far away from that as a people, as a citizenry. It used to be you fall on hard times. You need assistance, you can go to your local church. You can go to a church. You can go to a nonprofit. But now we need the government to help us. No, we need to get back to a reliance on each other, a reliance on churches in times of need. Help our fellow man. That's the message. It's just like what I was talking about, the George Stephanopoulos deal where he's got to pay Donald Trump $15 million in a settlement over some comments he made during the whole E. Jean Carroll civil suit. Actually, it's 16 million. 15 million goes to a charitable contribution toward the Trump Presidential Library, and then $1 million go to legal fees. And George Stephanopoulos isn't very happy. It says here in the Daily Mail, I'll pull it up here so you can see, that is reportedly apoplectic and humiliated about the decision by his longtime employers to pay the settlement money. However, legal experts have claimed that ignoring multiple network warnings not to say a certain R word on air likely hurt their ability to fight back against Trump. Multiple anonymous sources. Well, anonymous sources, here we go. Even though it's on the other side, anonymous sources, come on. Name names, please. Make it credible. Now tell the New York Post that Stephanopoulos was warned not to say the R word multiple times before going on air. The segment involved him interviewing Nancy Mace when Stephanopoulos pressing her on why she endorsed Trump after he was found liable of, we'll just say, abuse. Stephanopoulos said, I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for a certain R word. Mace, who has seen her stock rise since Trump's election, accused the anchor of trying to shame her by bringing up the case. When we all know it was a civil case, he was never found liable for doing certain things to E. Jean Carroll. In fact, E. Jean Carroll, in my view, my opinion, is a nutcase, and this should have never been brought to begin with. Let's see here. Stephanopoulos was initially defiant of the lawsuit, telling Stephen Colbert that he wouldn't be cowed out of doing my job because of a threat. Trump sued me because I used the word grape, even though a judge said that's in fact what did happen. We filed a motion to dismiss. Trump's also suing CBS News for $10 billion in damages, alleging the network practiced deceptive conduct when they interviewed Vice President Kamala Harris in October. That's going to be a harder one for him to win, but he has a chance. I mean, a message needs to be sent to these media organizations that, hey, you can't continue to do what you've been doing for the last 20 plus years by being one-sided. You can't. I just said I wasn't going to get into this and be negative, and here I am into this being negative. Okay, time to stop that now. What else we got here? Let's see now. Oh, speaking of which, I guess George Stephanopoulos has struck a new deal with ABC News. Details have not been disclosed. Interesting. I figured he would have been done and retired now after this little kerfuffle. Here's some more Superman news. This is from The Wrap. James Gunn says Superman was inspired by Game of Thrones, talks crypto and other superheroes. This is an alternative history fantasy world where superheroes exist, but it's also incredibly grounded. So we got the teaser trailer. Already showed that earlier. Revealing a superhero film that aims to balance Game of Thrones style epic storytelling with humanity, according to the Guardians of the Galaxy filmmaker. That's my primary thing I'm trying to do when I'm marching forward from step to step and writing the script and building the movie and cutting it together. It's to keep this fantastic building that in a lot of ways shares as many elements with Game of Thrones as it does with, say, the Marvel Universe, that it is another world where metahumans happen to exist. People do put on costumes and fight crimes for all very different reasons, which you'll see in the movie. Gunn detailed his approach to grounding fantastical elements in reality. If this thing was real, that's always where I start. If there was a super dog, what would it be like? If there was a talking raccoon, where would it have come from? And if it is trying to ground everything as outlandish as it might be in reality, kaijus, fortresses, all of it. So it is a kaiju in the trailer. I didn't know what that was. In this version of the DC universe, gonna explain Superman exists in a world of superheroes. This is an alternative history fantasy world where superheroes exist, but it's also incredibly grounded. It's about real people having real lives. There just happens to be metahumans there, but Superman exists. He has friends who are other superheroes. He has people he doesn't get along with as well with who are other superheroes. He's got a flying dog. Yes, Crypto. He's got a giant fortress, the Fortress of Solitude, that springs from the ground. He fights against monsters. He has a lot of things that we love from the Superman comics and the Superman mythology that we haven't been able to see as much of in filmed media, and definitely haven't been able to see in a grounded way, which is what I hope we've created. So, yeah. I'm still excited to see this. The film will feature a new take on John Williams' iconic Superman theme. Williams' theme, that soundtrack, is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. When I was a kid, really the thing that I loved the most about the movie was the music. That was the thing I took home with me more than anything else. Gunn added that composer John Murphy began working on the music before the script was finished. I want to use a version of the Williams theme, but I want to do our own version of it. And so that's what you hear. Oh, thought it was Hans Zimmer. I stand corrected. What's really amazing is how that leads into a lot of other pieces, some of which harken back to the Williams theme, but some of which are purely John Murphy, goes into that, comes back, and it's used beautifully throughout the movie. So, again, getting back to the themes, recognizable. Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman the Animated Series, pretty much use the same theme. Original Superman. I think all the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve had variations of that theme. James Bond. You know it's James Bond when you hear that theme. Speaking to the heart of the film, Gunn emphasized this core message: I believe in the goodness of human beings, and I believe that most people in this country, despite their ideological beliefs or their politics, are doing their best to get by and trying to be good people. And I think this movie is about that. It's about the basic kindness of human beings. Okay. I'm still very hopeful. Still very hopeful about this movie. I don't have the pro version of. Oh, free account? I'll do that. It's free. I'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Continue. Sure, I'll subscribe. What the heck? It's free. Let's see. First time live action key moment of the trailer reveals Superman's canine friend Crypto. Here can be seen running towards Superman as the scene stealing pooch is being called to help him get home. We need to see Crypto fly. Crypto needs to fly. Lois is prominently featured in the teaser, establishing the existing romantic relationship between her and Clark. Jimmy Olsen also makes an appearance with Lois inside the Daily Planet. We get Lex Luthor, of course. You cannot have a Superman movie without Lex Luthor. Does this Lex have an Otis? That would be cool if this Lex had an Otis. That would really be like legacy vibes there if Lex had Otis. We just start in the middle of the action. Gunn previously said when the Wrap visited Cleveland set in June, Superman's already existing. Lois and Clark already know each other. Lex hates Superman's guts from the beginning, although they don't know each other personally. Also, we get some kaiju action in the teaser as it shows a shot or two of Superman duking out with a creature in downtown Metropolis. We also get the first cinematic appearances in the teaser, giving hints of a larger DC universe, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl. So the one guy with the blue eyes, was that Metamorpho? From DC Studios, the film tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. So there you go. That's a wrap. Speaking of entertainment news, we did get this yesterday or this morning that we're getting a 4th season of The Mayor of Kingstown, another Taylor Sheridan property over on Paramount Plus. If you have not checked out Mayor of Kingstown, check it out. Very good series, at least in my humble opinion. Very good series. We have this from the movie web. Now, I say, I liked Henry Cavill's Superman. DC fans are now just hours away from the first trailer for James Gunn's Superman. This was written 4 hours ago. We know the trailer's already out now. While the majority of the fan base cannot wait to see the first official trailer for the movie, leave it to Zack Snyder's dedicated cronies to ruin a good thing. They are once again calling for Henry Cavill's return. Ahead of Superman's trailer dropping later today, hashtag Henry Cavill Superman is now trending on X. The trend is caused by Zack Snyder fans taking the virtual streets to voice their displeasure about the new Superman trailer. To Snyder's fans, Cavill was the perfect Superman, and he's now their only choice for the Man of Steel going forward. If you're not interested in the Superman trailer tomorrow, if you want Henry Cavill to return to support, then support the hashtag Henry Cavill Superman trend, wrote at Snyder Queen. Guys, I get it. I liked Henry too, but it's just not going to happen. Sorry. I'd like to see Henry as the Cavalrine in Marvel. That's what I would like to see. Now that would be something. Somewhere in the multiverse within Marvel, you have the Cavalrine. Let's see here. What else we got? What else do we have? Creature Commandos episode 4 dropped today. I'll be watching that later. Who's going to see Sonic? That's a good question. Who's going to see Sonic? I plan on seeing Sonic. Sonic 3 looks really good. Definitely not going to go see Mufasa. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Sonic outdid Mufasa at the box office this weekend. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Sonic was #1 at the box office this weekend. What else we got here? Oh, Yellowstone's been in the news a lot lately. That's another one. The finale of Yellowstone was this past Sunday. I liked it. I thought it did what it was supposed to do. I thought it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Fans aren't too happy with Taylor Sheridan, but come on. And over bounding into comics, they're kind of jumping on the bandwagon of the naysayers, from what I can see here. I could be wrong. Yellowstone draws comparisons to Game of Thrones as fans blast Taylor Sheridan for rushed, nonsensical finale. Despite Taylor Sheridan choosing the title of the episode Life is a Promise, the series finale of Yellowstone offered very little in the way of a promise. Or very little in the way of promise. Well, not so fast, my friends. I'll get to it in a second. Spoiler warning. Here we go. Given its existence as one of the greatest TV shows arguably ever created, the ending of Yellowstone was always going to disappoint many people, as the sheer size of the fan base made it guarantee that the episode would be unable to fill everyone's personal theories and hopes. Since launching the series, Sheridan has not only blown out the story of the Dutton family into a full-blown franchise, which currently includes the main series, the prequel series 1883, and the upcoming spin-offs. Well, 1923 season 2 comes out in February. The Madison, the 4 Sixes, 1955. I thought it was going to be 1944. And an unnamed television outing centered around Beth and Rip. They did set that up in the finale, by the way. Spoiler alert. But also redefined the neo-Western genre at a time when it was just about extinct as the buffalo. However, the premature exit of series lead Kevin Costner, who departed earlier this year to film his cinematic Horizon and American Saga duology, dealt a huge blow to Yellowstone's continuity and left Sheridan to fumble his way through its conclusion. Yes, Kevin Costner was kind of the glue for the series. Yes, season 5, part 2 was missing that element. But I didn't think season 5, part 2 was that bad. In light of the show's astronomical viewership numbers, fans expected the series creator to treat the script for the second half of its season, or its final season, with the respect it deserved. Which, by the way, Paramount, when you know a show is ending, and you know it's the series finale, down the lower right-hand corner of the screen, don't put season finale, because that implies there's going to be another season. Especially with the way things were wrapping up as far as the story goes. Just a little tip. But with the entire thing now said and done, many viewers are now blasting Sheridan over their opinion that he chose to take the easy way out, in doing so delivering a television disaster akin to the ending of Game of Thrones. No. No. It was not as bad as Game of Thrones. The ending. The final season of Game of Thrones was bad. I was all into Game of Thrones up until that final season. They skipped over a lot, reads one of the first comments posted in the Yellowstone finale thread in a massive television Reddit community. Seems careless. I mean, how did Beth heal so fast? I'm still going to miss the show, but I think it's sad when really popular shows just dial it in for the ending, a la Game of Thrones. No, guy, if that's your opinion, I respect your opinion, but I think your opinion's off base. These posts are but a small sample size of the numerous comments on Reddit alone that raise the comparison between the series finales of Yellowstone and Game of Thrones. Oh, people. Especially Reddit. Really? Reddit? Notably, perhaps the most prominent fan complaint concerned the stark plot holes surrounding Rip and Beth's killing of Jamie. While the decision is While the decision to so violently end the long-standing rivalry between the half-siblings was a noble attempt at keeping viewers on the edges of their seat, the entire resolution ignored too many real-life factors, as well as common sense to make any sense. I'm sure no one saw Rip fly in at 90 miles an hour in that massive... or at least... God... I know it's just a TV show, but for fuck's sake, the guy is the attorney general. They rolled him up in a carpet, drug him outside in broad daylight, and jammed him in his own car. True. But while I was watching it, I also made the point, too, that he's the attorney general of the state of Montana. He's going to have some sort of security around his house. So, there's that. Notably, despite these comparisons, one should note that Yellowstone was never originally intended as a TV production. It was initially written as a feature film. However, when big studios found themselves uninterested in film, Sheridan continued to fight for the project's production, and in doing so, eventually got Paramount to pick it up and launch it as a series. And much to the surprise of those studios who showed Sheridan the door, the show became a surprise hit, with many even going so far as to credit Yellowstone for reviving American interest in cable programming. All I'm going to say is this. The reason why this episode was titled, where's it at? Life is a Promise, is you have to go back and watch 1883, the last episode when James Dutton is talking to the Sioux chief about Paradise Valley and the Yellowstone, and how in 7 generations, the Sioux chief said that they will get their land back, and James Dutton said, you could have it back. Now, fast forward, what happens at the end of this episode, or toward the end of this episode? The Native Americans, the Indians, purchased the land back for $1.25 an acre, which was the same price that James Dutton paid for it in 1883, to preserve the land and not allow development on it. That's where you get Life is a Promise. Now, the second part of that, and I knew this was coming all along, is Jamie's demise. I didn't know it was going to be at the hands of Beth and Rip, but I knew at some point Jamie was going to be, we'll just say, taken out. In my opinion, Taylor Sheridan did the best he could without Kevin Costner as part of the series to end the series. Now, I'm looking forward to season 2 of 1923. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the spinoffs. I mean, Taylor Sheridan is probably the most powerful man in Hollywood right now, at least on the TV side of things. I mean, you look at what he's got going on. Mayor of Kingstown. Great series. Love that series. Tulsa King. Season 3 will be coming out. Tulsa King. Great series. Love that series. Lioness. Season 2 just finished up. If you haven't watched Lioness, I recommend it. It's very good. Nicole Kidman, Morgan Freeman, Zoe Saldana. And yes, Taylor Sheridan does have a bit part in that too, as a Delta Force operative. Let's see. Mayor of Kingstown, Yellowstone, Lioness. What am I forgetting? Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, Lioness, Tulsa King, 1883, 1923. Oh, Landman. Landman. That show there. Wow. Billy Bob Thornton. Just wow. Especially this last episode from this past Sunday. That, whew. If you have not seen Landman, watch it. That show there. Oh. Taylor Sheridan right now can't miss. In my opinion. Solely my opinion. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Again, usually I'm more prepared than this. But, you know, technical problems and all. Oh, we got a little clip from James Gunn. This was posted an hour ago. Let's play it real quick. A little 8-second clip.
The new Superman trailer is out now. Woo!
Now?
Go watch it now. Watch the trailer.
Oh. The new Superman trailer's out now. Go watch it. Yep, did. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Wow, I cannot type today. So what else we got here? Any more comments on the trailer? The teaser trailer was boring. Hopefully the legit one will be better. This person here says crap, mega crap. Trailer was horrible. Hopefully it's not a woke version of Superman. I want to see truth, justice, the American way. If they drop the American way, it'll be a flop. Yeah, they have to have truth, justice, and American way in that. I agree with that. I'm crossing my fingers here. Have we healed from the woke nonsense of our past in Hollywood? Let's hope. Yep, I'm hoping so too. People need to get over the CGI stuff. If the CGI is done tastefully, it's okay. And yeah, some people are blasting the trailer. They're I've said it in my videos and I'll say it here. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I respect people that put out their honest opinion. I speak for everyone when I say I will not be watching. Okay, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to tell somebody they need to watch it. I'm not going to tell somebody to boycott it. We're all individuals. We all need to form our own opinions and decide what we're going to do for ourselves, what we think is going to make us happy. And if you like the trailer, great. If you didn't like the trailer, that's fine too. Like this person here, the only thing I've learned from this trailer is that it's overbloated, and now I assume the movie will be too. Okay. I respect that. One thing you're going to find out with me doing these live streams is that I respect other people's opinions, which is something that doesn't happen a lot in today's world, today's society, whether it comes from the entertainment space, pop culture space, politics. It's about respect. It's about respecting other people's opinions. I may agree with your opinion. I may disagree with your opinion. You may agree with my opinion. You may disagree with my opinion. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is if you disagree and you go throw a tantrum because you're too busy trying to convince the other person to come on your side. This movie could be a game changer for superhero films that captures the essence of what makes Superman Superman. It's a reminder that even in a world that might think his values are outdated, Superman's mission of truth and justice and the American way still touches our hearts deeply. Got to put the American way in there, Juan. Just saying. This is going to be the last Jedi of Superman movies. No. Man of Steel bleeds, okay? Well, if you go back to the comics in his fight with Doomsday, heck, just go back to the last couple of episodes of Lois and Superman. Go back to the finale of season 3 of Lois and Superman. Superman bled. Just when I thought I was done with comic book movies, James Gunn finally brings back that John Williams theme. Chills you, son of a gun. Batman, do you bleed? Superman, apparently yes. Superman can bleed. There's a whole thing called kryptonite that weakens him, that makes him vulnerable. Oh, here's a callback. Recently watched the latest Superman trailer, and it instantly took me back to my childhood. I used to love watching the George Reeves play the Man of Steel. Trailer had that classic charm, even with Crypto the dog. But here's the thing. I'm an adult now, and I can't help but feel a little bit sad that I can't fully appreciate the nostalgia it brings. Wayne Dupree bringing back George Reeves as Superman from the old TV show in the 50s and 60s. Great. We back to Man of Steel again. This is a trailer for Man of Steel. Yeah. I get it. People want Henry Cavill. I get it. I'd like to see Henry Cavill too reprise the role of Clark Kent Superman. But folks, you just have to come to grip. It's not going to happen. It's no longer the DCEU. It's no longer the Snyderverse. It's in different hands now. Why did they cut the Slash playing the theme tune outside of a church in the wind? Yes. Reminds me a bit of the 80s Superman films. July 11th, I will be there. Yeah, it's got some of that to it. This shot reminded me of the hallway fight in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. Well, you know, James Gunn has to bring a few of his tricks. Crypto's perfect. Yep. So it's a mixed reaction. That's to be expected. That is totally to be expected. Oh, what's going on with Big Fanny Willis? She's disqualified from the Trump case. Wow. Breaking news, Fannie Willis has been disqualified from the Trump case in Georgia. How come that case hasn't been like dismissed or gone away yet? It shouldn't have ever been brought to begin with, but oh, let's see here. What else we got? Let's see here. I'm trying to think of how I want to type this out. Okay, what else we got here? What else can we talk about? What do y'all want to talk about? Honestly, I tried to keep the politics out of it as much as I could, but sometimes it just draws me back in. All right, well, everybody's writing about the Superman trailer now from what of just perusing some of the entertainment sites and blogs. So I guess now we just have to wait for any little tidbits to come out about the movie. And we'll see what the actual next trailer holds. Because, like I said earlier, I'm digging it. I'm liking it. Yeah, there's some things that could be better. I just saw somebody point out that Guy Gardner doesn't look too good. I mean, it's never going to satisfy everybody. Okay? It doesn't, you could put out the most pristine, comic accurate thing imaginable, and it still would not please everybody. Just saying. Somebody's going to find something to nitpick on it, which is fine. I got no problem with that. Oh, we got a little Sonic news here. From that Park Place, Sonic 3 is predicted to race past Mufasa for weekend domestic box office lead. Based on what Chris Score and Alan Ing had to say about Mufasa, it wouldn't surprise me. Disney may face a major embarrassment this weekend when Mufasa, the Lion King, opens against the highly anticipated Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Industry experts predict Disney will fall short, with Sonic 3 expected to defeat Mufasa in the domestic weekend box office. It wouldn't surprise me if Sonic beat Mufasa, Wicked, Gladiators 2, what was the Moana 2. Tonight, Sonic and Mufasa will go head-to-head, igniting a Christmas box office race that has become the talk of Tinseltown. Disney enters the contest with every advantage. For starters, Disney controls the premium theaters. It will release Mufasa in nearly every IMAX, Dolby, and 4DX theater. The film also gets a 3D release in more total venues than Sonic. Why is Mufasa being released in 3D? Why? Can somebody please answer that? Mufasa will show in 4,000 North American theaters versus Sonic's 3,800. At theaters like Disney Springs AMC in Orlando, Sonic only has one screen in the main auditorium and one in the adjacent dine-in theater, while Mufasa will appear on 5 screens. Lion King name also carries more weight than Sonic. The original animated classic embodies Disney's 1990s renaissance. The Lion King live-action remake once held the record for highest-grossing animated film of all time, until Inside Out 2 unseated it earlier this year. The predecessor to Mufasa earned an astounding $1.6 billion. The original 1994 Lion King animated film grossed $763 million, which adjusts to over $1.6 billion in 2024 dollars. Variety, historically friendly to Disney, estimates that Sonic 3 could open to $55 to $60 million domestically compared to Mufasa's $50. I hope Sonic blows the doors off of Mufasa. See what I did there? Blows the doors off. At first glance, this looks like a close race, but remember, Mufasa claims the lion's share of premium theaters in 3D release. For Sonic to start at such a disadvantage and still pull ahead by 5 to 10 million suggests the Blue Burr will captivate far more viewers this holiday season. Yeah, Sonic 3, when that trailer dropped, with the addition to Shadow and Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow, that trailer, I like that Sonic trailer. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has become one of the biggest boy brands on the planet. Disney once cornered the market with Marvel and Star Wars being boy brands. However, they tried to turn Star Wars into a girls brand, Kathleen Kennedy. However, Disney's C-suite brain trust decided to reimagine those two lucrative franchises into modern girls brands that also promote divisive social content. As a result, Disney has pushed more middle-of-the-road and conservative families toward outside IPs like Sonic and Super Mario. It's important to note that experts predict Mufasa will win internationally this weekend for one key reason. Sonic 3 doesn't open overseas until Christmas Day. That's why these comparisons focus on the domestic box office only. Because of this, Disney will tout Mufasa as the #1 movie in the world after this weekend, and they'll be correct because of international release. The film will enjoy a nice head start and face stiff competition later, so it'll be interesting to see how long it can maintain that momentum. Reviews for the two films tell another important part of the story. Rotten Tomatoes, Mufasa has a 58% positive rating, while Sonic 3 achieved an 85% positive rating. Even if Mufasa opens big, we could witness the Moana 2 effect. Moana 2 launched on the back of its predecessor's success, something Mufasa will likely attempt. The poor critical reception stalled its box office growth. A film that media once claimed could reach $2 billion has only reached about $700 million after nearly a month. If Mufasa truly delivers a subpar experience, stagnation could set in. If Sonic 3 earns strong word of mouth, it could change the game this holiday season. Will you see Sonic 3 or Mufasa this weekend? I'm in the Sonic 3 camp myself. So, I don't know about you guys, but Sonic 3 all the way. So, there you go. That about wraps this up. Superman looks good to me. Can't wait. It's going to be a make or break for the superhero genre. I hope it does well. I hope it makes money. It's going to be tough with that $330 million budget. But if it does $1 billion, $1.2 billion, then it could bode very good for superhero movies following that one. So that's all I have for today. I'll be back tomorrow about the same bat time, barring any technical difficulties. And with that, you guys have a good one. Oh, yeah, before I go, if you would, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. Like, share, subscribe. Share this out there once it posts to YouTube. And with that, we'll see you guys later.